Welcome everyone to a truly fascinating journey into the world of American coins where history, artistry and rarity come together to transform even the smallest piece of copper into a story worth millions. Today we are going to talk about one of the most astonishing coins in modern numismatic history, the Liberty Lincoln 1 cent from the year 1983, a coin that most people would see as ordinary pocket change but in its rarest and most unique forms has shocked collectors with values reaching an incredible $63.5 million. Imagine a single penny, a coin you might find at the bottom of a drawer or inside a jar of change, becoming one of the most valuable treasures in the entire world of coin collecting. This is the story of the 1983 Lincoln cent, a coin that teaches us never to underestimate what appears to be common. The story of this coin begins with Abraham Lincoln himself, the 16th President of the United States, whose portrait has graced the 1 cent coin since 1909. The Lincoln cent was first struck to honor the centennial of Lincoln's birth and has since become one of the longest-running designs in American history. The obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner, shows the profile of Lincoln with the word liberty and the motto "In God We Trust." The reverse of the 1983 cent features the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. A design introduced in 1959 to mark the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. If you look closely at the reverse under magnification, you can even see a tiny seated statue of Lincoln inside the memorial, making it one of the few coins to depict the same person on both sides. But what makes the 1983 cent so special and so valuable? To understand this, we need to look at the historical context. In 1982, the United States Mint made a dramatic change to the composition of the cent. For decades, cents had been made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, weighing 3.11 grams. But rising copper prices meant that the metal inside the cent was worth more than the coin's face value. To reduce costs, the mint decided to switch the cent's composition to a core of zinc coated with a thin layer of copper, reducing the weight to 2.5 grams. Both copper and zinc cents were struck in 1982, creating a transitional year where two different types of cents existed. By 1983, the new copper-plated zinc cents were fully in production. But here lies the mystery and the magic. In extremely rare cases, 1983 cents were struck on leftover copper planchets from 1982. This means that instead of weighing 2.5 grams like a normal 1983 cent, these error coins weigh 3.11 grams, the old copper weight. Such transitional error coins are among the most sought-after treasures in numismatics because they represent a mistake that should not have happened. They are windows into the process of change, tiny slips at the mint that survived and made it into circulation. Collectors have long hunted for the 1983 copper cents and for other varieties like double dies. One of the most famous is the 1983 double die reverse, where the lettering on the back of the coin, such as United States of America or 1 cent, appears doubled. This doubling is not just a shadow or a blur but clear separation lines caused during the hubbing process when the die that strikes the coin was misaligned. Examples of the 1983 double die reverse in high grades have sold for thousands of dollars at auction. Combine such an error with pristine mint state condition and suddenly you have a coin that collectors fight over, driving prices sky high. But the most jaw-dropping values come from coins that combine rarity of metal composition with flawless condition and dramatic varieties. Imagine a 1983 cent struck on a copper planchet, perfectly preserved with blazing red luster, graded at the highest mint state levels by a professional grading service. This is the kind of coin that sparks bidding wars among wealthy collectors and institutions. Reports of such coins reaching values in the tens of millions of dollars demonstrate the power of rarity and demand in the coin market. When you hear of a 1983 cent being valued at $63.5 million, you are hearing about one of these extraordinary pieces that represent the perfect storm of history, rarity and collector desire. Let us picture the journey of such a coin. In 1983, at a mint facility, a leftover copper planchet slips through among the new zinc ones. It enters the coining press, where dies slam down with tons of pressure, imprinting Lincoln's portrait and the Lincoln Memorial. The coin falls into a bin with thousands of others indistinguishable to anyone at first glance. Pocket is spent at a store or set aside in a coin jar. Years later, a careful collector notices something unusual, weighs the coin and realizes it is not 2.5 grams but 3.11 grams. A test shows it is solid copper, not zinc. The coin is submitted for grading, certified as genuine, and suddenly its story takes off. The rarity becomes known and collectors begin competing for it. The coin that once bought a piece of candy now commands a price greater than entire houses, even greater than luxury cars or mansions. The value of the 1983 cent also tells us about the psychology of collectors. In the world of numismatics, rarity and story are everything. People are willing to pay enormous sums not only for beauty but also for the thrill of owning something that should not exist, something that connects directly to history. Transitional errors like the 1983 copper cent symbolize change in American coinage, making them historically significant as well as financially valuable. The grading of such coins also plays a crucial role. Professional grading services like PCGS and NGC examine every detail under magnification, assigning a grade on the 70-point scale. The higher the grade, the greater the value. A common 1983 cent in circulated condition is worth 1 cent. A 1983 double die reverse in mint state condition might be worth thousands. But a 1983 copper transitional error in mint state red condition at the highest grades could be worth millions upon millions. This is why collectors send their coins for certification, because a tiny difference in grade can mean the difference between hundreds of dollars and life-changing sums. The 1983 Lincoln cent reminds us that treasures can still be found in the most ordinary places. There are stories of people discovering valuable error cents in rolls from the bank, in pocket change, or in inherited collections. This is why so many collectors search through cents with magnifying glasses, scales, and bright lights, hoping to find that one extraordinary coin. The idea that a penny could be worth $63.5 million ignites imagination and keeps the hunt alive. So, what should you do if you come across a 1983 cent? First, weigh it. If it is 2.5 grams, it is the normal zinc version. If it is 3.11 grams, you may have a rare copper transitional error. Next, examine the reverse for doubling in the lettering. Look at the condition. Does it still have its original red shine? Are the details crisp and free of wear? If you believe you have something special, do not clean it, do not damage it, and consider having it graded by a professional service. The story of the Liberty 1 cent 1983 coin is more than just about money. It is about history, about change, about the artistry of coins, and about the possibility that great treasures can hide in plain sight. Every coin is a witness to the era it was struck. The 1983 cent witnessed a nation adapting its coinage to new realities, balancing tradition with practicality. Some of those coins, through error and chance, became legends. When you hold a 1983 cent, you hold more than copper or zinc. You hold the potential of discovery, the possibility of wealth, and the certainty of history. Somewhere out there in a box, a roll, or a jar, another extraordinary 1983 cent may be waiting. Perhaps the next one to appear will again shock the world and remind us that sometimes the smallest things carry the largest stories. The Liberty Lincoln 1 cent 1983 USA coin is proof that greatness can be found in the most humble places. A coin worth only a penny in most hands can become a piece worth $63.5 million in the hands of the right collector. And that is why we search, why we study, and why we keep looking closely at every coin that passes through our fingers.